It's your daily reminder to eat food today. If you haven't, I haven't eaten food yet today, so this is my reminder. Eating a wider variety of protein may lower risk of high blood pressure. New research says a well-balanced diet could be the ticket to a better blood pressure. Better blood pressure, folks. Now, for those of you that don't know, my blood pressure, I've got such low blood pressure that whenever I go into the doctor and they do the blood pressure machine, right, whenever that happens, they go like, how are you even alive? Like, you have no blood pressure whatsoever. Your blood is just stationary. And, you know, so I've got low blood pressure. That is a problem in and of itself, but I certainly do not have high blood pressure. And why is that? Because I eat a balanced variety of proteins in my diet. So that's why. What you eat has a major impact on your overall health. Who would have possibly guessed? There's, you know, again, millions and millions of people in this country, the United States of America, that didn't know that. They don't know that their diet has any effect on their well-being. Imagine not knowing that. But anyway, especially when it comes to heart health, you'll often hear medical professionals touting diets like the Mediterranean diet that increases vegetables, heart-healthy fats, and whole grains, while slashing animal products and sodium. But a new study looked at a lesser talked about nutrients' ability to impact our heart health: protein. So, folks, you need complete proteins as well, for sure. You know, got to get those amino goddamn motherfucking acids. The research published in the journal Hypertension suggests eating a diet with greater variety of protein sources may help adults lower the risk of developing high blood pressure. Researchers examined data from nearly 12,200 participants from the China Health and Nutrition Survey, who were part of at least 2 of the 7 rounds of the questionnaire. Participants self-reported their diets for 3 consecutive days, and they reported what types of food they've been keeping in their homes. Researchers used the initial responses as a baseline in the final round of questionnaires. As they follow up, the participants were scored based on how many protein sources were consumed. Of 8 categories, these protein sources included whole grains, refined grains, processed red meat, unprocessed red meat, poultry, fish, eggs, maybe, and legumes. For each source eaten, participants were given 1 point. This is an anti-vegan, anti-vegetarian study that's being done here. The point is, eat a lot of different protein sources. I recommend beans. I recommend nuts. I recommend legumes, which are, you know, they're beans and nuts, I think. You know, whole grains. Refined grains, you could probably skip the refined grains, let's be honest. The meat, no. Eggs, I like eggs, but, you know, what are you going to do? Tofu's good, soy, I like soy. You got to get all the protein. You got to get every little scrap of protein that you possibly, you know, could even dream of. Yeah, so after an average of 6 years, researchers followed up with the participants to gauge how they developed if they had developed new onset hypertension since the original survey. New onset hypertension was defined as systolic pressure above or equal to 140 mmHg and systolic blood pressure greater than or equal to 90 mmHg. Now again, folks, whenever I go into the doctor and they do the blood pressure machine, I get like, you know, I'm like, I don't know, last time I got it was like, I was like 111 or something, you know, I don't know. And the 90 one, the lower one, is usually like in the 60s or 70s. I don't know if that's okay if I'm dying. I don't know, but that's usually in my experience. And now again, this is just me. I'm not talking about this. I'm just, you know, ranting and raving. Researchers found that more than 35% of the participants developed early onset hypertension during the follow-ups. Those who ate 4 or more protein sources a week had 66% lower risk of developing high blood pressure. Is there a correlation between protein and blood pressure? What is it about protein specifically that may help keep blood pressure in check? Up until this point, Alice A. Stein, a professor of nutritional science and policy and director and senior scientist at the Cardiovascular Nutritional Laboratory at Tufts University, says she has never heard of any connections between protein and high blood pressure, but the study's findings are interesting. So she's never heard of anything, but it's interesting. What is known to cause high blood pressure? Common causes of high blood high blood pressure include eating too many processed foods and high alcohol consumption. Whoa! I don't think so. Because again, as an alcoholic with low blood pressure, I do not feel represented here. Blood pressure may also be impacted by your family history, other medications you're taking. You know what? I'm going to be honest with y'all. Now, again, we're steering off of the science and going into the speculation territory. Let's be clear. I think family history of disease is, I like, it's good to know. I like knowing it, right? Like, I'd prefer to know than not know. But ultimately, I think the family history, it's like a nature versus nurture. I think what your parents teach you, how to eat and how to cook, what they feed you when you grow up, I think is a significantly higher tell rather than the genetic, predispositions. Like, yes, people have different genetic predispositions, and it's better to know than not know, so you don't make any mistakes when it comes to your diet or what you put in your body, right? But I do think, again, the foods and how they feed children and how they teach children to cook or not teach children to cook, I think have an infinitely higher effect on family history when it comes to cancer and developing other kinds of diseases than genetic predispositions. That's just my opinion. That's my fucking opinion. So, just throwing that out there. Other than blood pressure, medications are ways to lower blood pressure naturally by making adjustments to your lifestyle, managing stress, sleeping between 7 to 9 hours a night, and adding 150 minutes of physical activity. Doesn't garlic do something with blood pressure? Hold up. Garlic blood... I'm going to look this up. Garlic blood pressure. What this fucking... Garlic supplements have shown effectiveness in reducing... Yeah, garlic... Imagine, like, you're such a little fucking stupid douchebag, little fucking moron, like, crybaby fucking stupid child, that you can't just eat garlic. You need to have a garlic capsule. Like, you need to put powdered garlic in a capsule so you don't taste it. Imagine the little uppity, snowflake little pieces... Now, I know some people have potential sensory issues, but, excluding those people, just fucking chomp down on the whole clove of garlic. You don't need a garlic supplement. But anyway, yes, garlic is good for blood pressure. Throwing that out there. There you go. The bottom line, eat multiple protein sources. So what that means is, like, just have a variety in your diet, right? Don't eat the same foods every day or the same week. Mix it up, try to have, like, leafy green protein, get some goddamn beans in that shit, eat a peanut butter sandwich, right? Mix it up a little bit, maybe if you want eggs and cheese, maybe I won't throw you into the gulag for it, but, definitely no meat, let me tell you that much. And so again, just try to keep a variety in your diet. That's really the main takeaway from this story, from this article, is that as long as you're changing up your diet, you're not eating the same kind of fast food, or you're not getting the TV dinner processed meals that are basically identical every single time. Again, for the same reason that, like, a monoculture is bad in farming, it's the same thing. Like, if you eat the same exact foods in your body, that's bad. You need the varieties, you need the sources, you need the vitamins, and especially when it comes to protein, it appears to have a somewhat statistical link to high blood pressure. So that's cool. That's good. And so, everyone, we need to learn from this. We need to learn from the mistakes of our ancestors. By that, I mean, like, just 2 generations of dumb motherfuckers who didn't know how to eat properly. Like, imagine we are at the Venn diagram here, where it's like, we immediately upon, like, developing medicine, we stopped eating, like, proper diets, right? So we learned how to make medicine. Oh shit, we can extend our lifespan. And then we started eating like fucking stupid motherfuckers, and then we started lowering the lifespan again. We are at that Venn diagram area where we have access to medicine and life prolonging treatments and, like, anti-aging remedies, and, we understand, like, we're at the apex here of medicine and food knowledge and diet knowledge, and so we should take advantage of that. We should study nutrition, study how to prolong our lives. Because, again, the longer you live, the more of a fucking bitch you are for capitalism. They don't want to pay those social security checks. Why do you think the life expectancy is being, again, in the downward position, trying to get under the age of 65? And also some, Republicans want to just age, up the age of retirement. But that's a whole nother story. Anyway, variety of proteins, folks. I didn't say it. I didn't tell you. I mean, I did tell you. But, either way, there you go. Is Mila still here? Mila, don't look.